sale ends Monday. Serving mid-Michigan, you're watching NBC 25 News at 5.
Tonight on NBC 25 News at 5, several local blocks evacuated as a hazmat team swoops in to secure what could be a dangerous situation.
All right, we are experiencing some shaking here right now in the studio. Perhaps a tremor of sorts. We aren't really sure. The whole studio is shaking.
Plus, a quake hits the Midwest, and it's all caught on TV.
And I'm Mark Torregrossa. How does the weekend look? We have rain to the west. Is it coming this way? I'll let you know.
The first hour NBC 25 top story tonight. Hazmat crews in Flint work hard to secure several city blocks. Good Friday evening to you. I'm Erin Luby. Here's what area we are talking about. Dort Highway at Woods Road. The 3 streets to the left have been evacuated for 3 blocks. Those streets are Torrance, Hoff, and Laverne Streets. The Flint neighborhood was evacuated this morning after reports of a strong gas smell. NBC 25's Elizabeth McFarland joining us live in the studio tonight with details. Liz?
Yes, Aaron. A man living on Woodrow Avenue made the call this morning after he sensed a strong gas smell, like you said, coming from his basement. Officials responded immediately by evacuating all residents in the area and turning off all power in the neighborhood. And after hours of investigation, they discovered that somehow gasoline made its way into the sewer line. Fire officials tell NBC 25 they are almost certain it's coming from a leak at a nearby Sunoco gas station. Environmental crews arrived just a couple of hours ago to start cleanup. Once finished, they'll start bringing back people into their homes in a controlled manner.
So that when we do put them in there, we want to make certain that all the air quality is such that when they do turn back on their pilot lights or their water heaters or whatnot, they do them safely, as opposed to something that, you know, if it happened to have come up in the sewer lines and got to a flammable area down there, they turn it on and something goes boom.
Now, between 40 and 100 people were evacuated in the area and asked to go to St. Leo's Parish for shelter. Now, I just got off the phone with the American Red Cross, and as of right now, people are still at the shelter and have not yet gotten the okay to return back to their homes. We'll have another update coming up on your NBC 25 News at 6. Aaron?
All right, thank you very much, Liz. And officials are asking everyone to stay out of the hazardous area until it is cleared. Well, there's been a major gambling ring bust in Saginaw County. A bayonet officer tells NBC 25 there have been 9 arrests. Officers seized 22 vehicles, 8 firearms, and a significant amount of money. Officers say they raided several areas in Saginaw and Buena Vista Township. The Michigan State Police and the IRS were involved in that search. We have a crew with investigators right now, and we'll have much more on the story for you tonight on NBC 25 News at 6. A teen accused of brutally killing an elderly woman in her Bay City home faces some tough testimony today. In a taped interview, 17-year-old Sean Comeri told police how things got out of hand on June 5th of last year. That's the day 83-year-old Sologar was murdered. Police say Sean and his cousin Robert Comeri attacked Sologar with a hammer and then stabbed her during a robbery at her home. Sean says he only meant to knock her out, not kill her. Comeri says he was on drugs at the time. In court today, a doctor working for the Michigan State Police testified that toxicology tests show Sean Comeri was on anxiety medication at the time, but that he had very little of it in his system.
And this drug has a very long half-life, which means it remains in the system for a very long time. So either this person took a very small amount or he took it quite a long time ago, and this is what is left of it in his system.
Closing arguments are expected to be heard next Tuesday. Sean's cousin, Robert Comeri, is spending the rest of his life behind bars. He pleaded no contest to the murder charges earlier this month. Surgery again today for KPAC's police chief. Raymond Hawks was shot Wednesday while tracking down a reckless driving suspect. The man accused of shooting Hawks is in the same hospital as the chief. Hawks is undergoing a heart-related procedure today. Officers say 50-year-old Donald Burt complained of chest pains after they found him hiding out on Thursday. Burke will face attempted murder charges as soon as he is released from the hospital. That could happen as early as today. Here's a live look outside of our NBC 25 downtown Flint tower cam. It was just a fantastic Friday, but what about the weekend? Here's Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with more. Mark?
Yeah, the weekend right now looking not really too terrible, not certainly as good as today. NBC 25 triple Doppler is dry. And look at the clouds on the western side of the state, really holding the temperatures down, some places in the 40s. I'll show you that later, but we've had the sunshine, and you see the rain showers off to the west, and those rain showers will be slowly heading this way, but it's a pretty tame storm. Even down in the south where it's a severe weather season already, they're not seeing much in the way of thunderstorm activity. Now, for us, look at these temperatures. In our region, nice. Port Austin at 50, but otherwise temperatures well into the 70s. Caro almost at 80 degrees at 79. We'll be at 63 at midnight, 53 in the morning, 64 at noon tomorrow. Cooler because of the cloudiness. We'll talk about some showers, and we'll still talk about just really spring-like weather sticking around the area. That's coming up in a few minutes. Aaron?
All right, thank you, Mark. Flint Mayor Don Williamson, the target of another recall tonight. Local activist Alex Harris tells NBC 25 he is spearheading the effort to oust Williamson. He says he has dozens of people lined up to help him get the 8,000 signatures needed to put the recall on the ballot. Harris was also part of the recall effort that removed Woodrow Stanley from the Flint mayor's office. A mid-Michigan family of 4 spends their very first day away from home. Fire ripped through the family's Maple Street home on Thursday while the family was out running errands. Officials say the fire started on the west side of the home. It took more than 30 firefighters from 3 local fire departments to put out that blaze. The family hopes to build back up and start over with the help of family, friends, and a caring community.
Montrose is such a small community, and that we do pull together when stuff like this happens. People care for one another because we live in such a small town.
One day at a time. That's all we can do. We have each other. That's it.
And to learn how you can help Stacy and her family, log on to our website, NBC25online.com, and click on the story that says Montrose House Fire. Pope Benedict XVI traveled to New York today. He was honored by the United Nations General Assembly and gave an address to the international delegation. As NBC's Jay Gray reports tonight, the Pope's UN address was a message to the world.
His slow, deliberate steps forge a path into history. Pope Benedict XVI is just the 3rd Holy Father to visit the United Nations. He travels here clearly as a dignitary, representing not a single country, but a faith practiced across several continents.
The life of the community.
On this day, in this place, he addresses them all.
A vision of life firmly anchored in the religious dimension can help to achieve this.
His message touched on several topics important to the Catholic Church and, in the Pope's eyes, the rest of the world. Family values, justice, and the environment. But Benedict spent the majority of his speech urging the International Assembly to secure and protect humanity.
Human rights must be respected as an expression of justice and not merely because they are enforceable through the will of the legislators.
It's a message based in faith and a belief that with current global conditions, that respect may be as important now as it's ever been. Jay Gray, NBC News, New York.
Well, today's speech was a bit more political than most delivered by Pope Benedict. For the rest of his American tour in New York, the focus will return to issues of faith. In Texas, testimony continues during a custody hearing that will decide the fate of about 416 children. Those children were removed from a polygamist compound 2 weeks ago. As NBC's Leanne Gregg shows us tonight, it's been a slow and at times chaotic process inside the courtroom.
In one of the biggest hearings of its kind in U.S. history, a judge must decide if more than 400 children will remain in state custody. They were taken 2 weeks ago from a polygamous compound in El Dorado, Texas.
The CPS's overriding concern is whether these children have been abused, either sexually or physically.
Whenever you have a setting like that, it's very important to remove all the children from that very dangerous setting.
But sect attorneys say the hearing is flawed.
It should be done in individual hearings where every parent has an opportunity to be considered on an individual basis, at least with regard to that parent's family.
The state claims some girls at the ranch may have had children when they were as young as 13, and that others are in danger of abuse because the sect encourages teenage girls to marry. Sect members denied abuse allegations.
They have not made their case at all.
State officials took the children into temporary custody after a 16-year-old girl made phone calls to authorities claiming she'd been beaten and raped by her 50-year-old husband. The girl has yet to be identified, but other girls told investigators she did live on the ranch. And now a judge must decide if it's safe for any child to return to the compound. Leanne Gregg, NBC News.
Well, the children range in age from just 6 months to 17 years old, and they've been kept at a domed coliseum in San Angelo, Texas. The church's prophet, Warren Jeffs, is awaiting trial right now in Arizona on charges related to promoting underage marriages. Mark Torgrosa is in after the break with your complete NBC 25 forecast, and still to come here on NBC 25 News at 5. The news is making the news tonight as this show gets rocked by an earthquake live on the air. You're watching NBC 25 News at 5.
Mid-Michigan's original Pontiac dealer, Dunlop Pontiac, is your G6 headquarters. Dunlop has the best selection and lowest prices on the popular Pontiac G6 Coupe, convertible and sedan. If you're even thinking about a new G6, you've got to see Dunlop.
It's the new spring sales event. Lease a new 2008 G6 for just $189 a month. With zero down, that's a brand new G6, nothing down, only $189 a month.
Stop in today to Mid-Michigan's original Pontiac dealer. If you're thinking Pontiac G6, think Dunlop Pontiac in the heart of Mid-Michigan's cool city, downtown Bay City.
There's no fiber in this.
Manager. Fiber One honey cluster cereal. That's really good.
Right, and if it tastes good, there's no fiber.
It's actually got about half a day's worth of fiber in it.
So right
on the
there,
box.
right on the box.
Okay. Honey, touch of brown sugar, crunchy clusters.
Right, any twigs?
Twigs, no. Delicious, yes.
Right, so where's the fiber?
Maybe it's hiding in the honey clusters.
Rethink fiber with Fiber One.
People think I'm some decorating whiz. I'm just a good finder. When my friends drop by and go, wow, where did you get that? And I say, I can tell you where, but you're probably looking at the last one. Maybe I should cut that out.
Find Little Jewels at our inventory liquidation sale. Save an extra $100 off the sale price on this two-piece sectional, final priced at $10.97. Or this reclining sofa and love seat reduced to just $9.47. Plus, you don't pay until September. The Clearance Center at Art Van, for whatever life throws at you.
Kylan Shoes is the place for fashion-forward feet.
We specialize in comfortable and orthopedic shoes. We have the ability to custom fit shoes for hard-to-fit feet, sizes 4 to 17 and up to 6 wide. If you have feet problems, no problem. We have both shoes and sandals with removable insoles to accommodate almost anyone. We'll get the fit right. Come in and check out our large selection of fashionable footwear, new sandals, new brands, new styles.
Come to Kylan Shoes, 1487 South Linden Road, Flint, Michigan.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Mark Torgrosa with your NBC 25 weather.
Good evening, NBC 25 Triple Doppler. Nothing on it, but just to our west there are showers, and there's a lot of cloudiness on the western side of the state, cooling the temperatures down right now. These showers don't arrive, it looks like, until sometime in the afternoon tomorrow. I'll show that to you in just a second, but we know it's fabulous for a Friday, right? I've got a recommendation for you. My weather in 2 words. How about a deck dinner tonight? Partly cloudy and very nice, down to 53 by Saturday morning. And now for tomorrow, the clouds will come in and skies will turn mostly cloudy. Well, I don't think we'll see those showers until overnight or really late afternoon, and high temperature will be somewhat cooler at 66. I'll pause this for you as we go through the day tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, you could see showers way to our south, and the clouds are coming in. And then as we get into the afternoon and evening hours, we'll see the showers approaching. They come through and really weaken overnight, and then Sunday looks like the clouds are breaking apart as the storm system just kind of dies and falls apart. We'll have a lot of cloudiness Sunday morning, but it should be generally a dry Sunday. 78 in the Tri-Cities, 77 in Flint. Look at the temperatures, how they vary though. Harbor Beach at 50 and Alpena at 56, Traverse City at 50 degrees, and then temperatures in the 40s up in the UP. So if you go north, it is a whole lot cooler. Minneapolis and Omaha at 44 degrees, and that's right under the pocket of the storm system. That pocket of cooler air will slowly poke this way, but then watch how it just fades. That's because of the weakening storm, and as we go into next week, you see the warmth spreading this way, and you are going to see that in the 7-day forecast. Now, tomorrow it does look like we'll have southeasterly winds and waves running about 1 or 2 feet, and really a nice marine forecast. Partly cloudy skies tonight, and overnight low temperature of 53. Tomorrow, skies turn cloudy, don't expect suntan as much as today. Showers will happen overnight tomorrow night, but they will be light. No rain for tomorrow, and those winds will be not too bad out of the south-southwest at 10 to 15. 63 on Sunday, 69 Monday, 70 on Tuesday, and not a whole lot of rain in this forecast, and all those temperatures above the normal line of 57.
You know what? I noticed today that my allergies started acting up for the first time in, well, since the spring.
That's the thing. Right now, the tree pollen is very high. We get reports on that. Mold is high, too, so you're probably allergic to some sort of trees, unfortunately.
Something like that. But you know what? I'm not allergic to this nice weather, so I'm not complaining whatsoever.
Good.
All right, some pretty scary moments today for the Midwest. The area was rocked with a 5.2 magnitude quake. Just watch what happens as the quake rocks a morning news show live on the air.
All right, we are experiencing shaking here right now in the studio. Perhaps a tremor of sorts. We aren't really sure. The whole studio is shaking. Kevin?
I don't know if you can hear our lights right now, but they're shaking overhead, and perhaps you can see our set and our computer shaking just a little bit. Kevin, what do you think?
I would have to think that this is an earthquake of some sort that's going on. Let's.
Yeah, look at our lights right there. They are shaking. We can feel it beneath us.
The whole studio is shaking.
That's what you call live TV, right, Mark? That was WAVE in Kentucky. Now, the brunt of the quake hit in Evansville, Indiana. It was felt as far away as Georgia, and it may seem strange to have a quake there, but a spokesperson for the U.S. Geological Survey says while it is large, an earthquake like that could occur every few years. But I understand they're saying that we haven't had one yeah, we're waiting for our lights to start shaking.
I don't know if I'd like that here.
Yeah, that would be really weird. I mean, I've never felt anything like that. I know people out in California are pretty used to it. But
in Chicago, we had a weak one time, and my friend was sitting and felt it, and I was standing and didn't feel it. But I've never been through a big one. That would be scary.
Yeah, it's the first one that big in about 40 years. So,
right. See, to me, the hurricanes and the tornadoes, at least predictable.
Yeah.
Earthquakes, I don't think I could handle that.
Yeah, that's true. Luckily, we don't have to deal with it, really. Still ahead tonight on NBC 25 News at 5, Sparty parents better get ready to dig a little deeper into their wallets. Plus, when it comes to your pocketbook, where do the candidates stand? We sort out the important issues ahead. You're watching NBC 25 News at 5.
Get to Art Van, like now.
It's Art Van's coupon sale. You can trim hundreds of dollars off sale prices throughout the store. Cut $400 off the sale price of a Cindy Crawford bedroom, now just $12.99. Clip $200 off the sale price of an Atuzzi Italian leather sofa, now just $10.99. Or snip $200 off the sale price of a 5-piece dining room, now just $10.99. Plus, get 0% interest until 2011.
If you miss it, you're gonna kick yourself.
Hurry, Art Van's coupon sale ends Monday.
Hi, I'm Ron from RPM Auto Sales. We got 5 car lots and 2 salvage yards, and we're the biggest and the best. Millions to loan, and we can get anybody financed. If you got a down payment and a job, please come and see us at any of our 5 locations, and we'll get you right today. Grab these keys here, PLPD Insurance, drive it away. Best financing in town, from the UP to Ohio line, we're the #1 car dealer. Come and see us here at RPM Auto Sales.
What all the noise is about. Stop.
May 2nd and 3rd at the Whiting, 237-7333, or at thewhiting.com.
We cure learning problems.
He did an initial exam on Vincent and tested his IT mean, and it looked like just a regular eye examination test with all the equipment and so forth, but it was pretty profound. I was amazed. And then we were fortunate enough to find out about vision therapy because not very many people know about it.
Nobody can believe how big of words I'm getting.
And he ran down the hall saying, "I love vision therapy."
We cure learning problems.
You're watching NBC 25 News at 5.
Well, you've heard them talk about the war in Iraq, the economy, and health care. But where do the presidential candidates stand on the pocketbook issues that affect all of us every day? NBC's Bob Sullivan sorts it out.
Our economy is in a shambles.
There's a lot of talk on the campaign trail about the economy and mortgage reform.
We have a mortgage crisis. that threatens millions of homeowners across the country. People are working harder and harder just to get by. Our wages and incomes have flatlined over the last 7.5 years.
And you'll hear some talk about unsafe imports.
Lead-laced toys, contaminated pet food, polluted pharmaceuticals.
But what specific new rules would the candidates support to protect consumers? They don't come up much in debates or speeches, but both Democrats have proposals which deserve some scrutiny. Barack Obama has called for a cap on payday loan interest rates and a new 5-star rating program for credit card applications. Hillary Clinton wants a new Financial Product Safety Commission and a 30% cap on credit card interest rates. Lending has gotten too complicated for consumers, she says.
We're still just looking at one end of this problem. We're not looking at the deeper problems, the failure of oversight.
John McCain hasn't been as specific, but a campaign spokesman says the Republican senator is ready to back new lending standards if they're still needed next January. Third-party candidate Ralph Nader, who began his public career as a consumer advocate, says none of the candidates are going far enough.
We need regulation. We need crackdown on corporate crime, fraud, and abuse.
While Wall Street woes and the war in Iraq will continue to dominate campaign debate, consumer protection is a close-to-home issue that may play an important role in the election as November approaches. For NBC News, I'm Bob Sullivan.
And for more on where the candidates stand, watch NBC Nightly News tonight. We'll have a look at how John McCain spends his money, plus how Obama and Clinton are fighting for votes with just 4 days until the Pennsylvania primary. A bit of good news for flyers. The Department of Transportation is ordering airlines to double the amount of compensation given to passengers dropped from overbooked flights. Starting next month, you'll get up to $800 depending on the circumstances. The new rule now covers smaller planes and regional carriers. Walmart's recalling nearly 12,000 keychains tonight. The Hip Charm keychains contain too much lead. The keychains were sold from April of 2005 to April of 2008. They went for about $6. We have more information on our website at NBC25online.com. Room and board at Michigan State University is going up 5.25% next school year. That's an increase of $350 over this year's rate. The university's governing board approved the increase Friday. The cost of a double occupancy dorm room with an unlimited meal plan will now cost a little over $7,000 a school year. Tuition increases will not be considered until a little later on this year. And as you just heard, education doesn't come cheap, but as NBC's Carol Ann Riddle tells us tonight, some students are complaining that they are also forced to pay more than they can afford for their college textbooks.
It's a guaranteed hot topic on college campuses, the cost of textbooks.
Textbooks are too expensive, bottom line. I paid $160 for my accounting textbook this semester, and average I spent $600 total this semester in textbooks.
The New York Public Interest Research Group released a report today at Bronx Community College. It charges textbook prices are too high for students already burdened with the cost of college. Some specific complaints: that publishers could do more to help faculty members compare prices, and that they put out new editions too frequently, undermining the used book market.
Publishers come out with unnecessary editions, often every 3 years, with insignificant changes. Sometimes just the coloring and the illustrations change.
One of the issues raised here is something called bundling. The report says often textbooks include additional items like CD-ROMs and workbooks, things students pay for but may not actually need for their courses.
I had to buy a textbook, a workbook, and a CD-ROM, and we only used the textbook. We never used the CD-ROM or the workbook.
But the Association of American Publishers disputes the report's findings, for example, on the bundling of materials.
We fill the orders as they are given to us. They come from the faculty to the bookstore, to the publisher, and if they want those items separate, that's perfectly all right with us. Just order them that way.
And as for overall cost, though obviously books can be a significant expense for students, publishers explain the average increase is less than you might expect.
Over the last 5 years, the average increase in spending by the average student is less than $6 a year. And I don't think that's inordinate.
Some suggestions from the NYPIRG report for students: look at online book swaps and ask professors to put books on reserve at the library.
Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa will have a final check of your NBC 25 forecast right after the break. You're watching NBC 25 News at 5.
Closed captioning is sponsored in part by Menards.
Hey there.
What are you doing here?
Introductory rate's over. It's time for spring cleaning. How's it going? Now, you knew this was gonna happen.
We saved this for our beach trip.
That's sweet. That's why they call them intro rates. They don't last forever.
Tired of Comcast? Call AT&T today to get home phone and high-speed internet plus your choice of advanced TV or wireless, all for only $79 a month. And that's not an introductory rate like Comcast. Make the switch now, and for a limited time, get $150 cash back with qualifying services.
Oh, you think rates wouldn't jump after the intro period? Huh? Everybody's got to contribute.
So call today to get home phone, high-speed internet, and your choice of advanced TV or wireless. Only AT&T offers all three for only $79 a month. And if you act now, get $150 cash back with qualifying services.
Thanks. We're calling AT&T.
I still have a garage.
The new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Guys?
Go wild at Eagles Landing, where you can experience 32,000 square feet of gaming action. Spin and win or go all in with 700 sizzling slots and a variety of electronic table games. And be sure to sign up now for your Eagles Landing Players Club card. It's the key to your winning experience. The more you use it, the more valuable Eagle rewards you'll earn. Michigan's newest place to play in Standish. Saguenay Eagles Landing, where winning comes naturally.
Boys and Girls Club of Greater Flint, a positive place for kids.
I feel safe with the Boys and Girls Club.
If I didn't have the Boys and Girls Club to come to, I think I'd be at home doing nothing.
My name is Marquali.
My name is Elizabeth.
To donate or learn more, visit pgclubflint.org.
Next, Ellen, Ewan McGregor. Sexy. Plus the latest cast-off from American Idol.
Or AI, as the people in the know call it. Or as I call the people in the know, TPITK.
All new Ellen.
Next, Ellen, NBC 25.
You know, after the stretch of weather we've just been through, I would say that the weekend looks kind of subpar, but it really, from prior to this stretch of weather, looks really good. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. We'll have those showers coming in the late afternoon and overnight, and they'll be hit and miss and fairly light. I would say less than 1/4 of an inch of rain in most spots. And Sunday, we'll gradually see more and more sunshine come back, 63 degrees. We shoot up to near 70 again Monday and Tuesday. And then late next week, we could see some of those April showers, which is actually starting to get a little bit dry.
So we're needing them now, that's what you're saying.
Yep.
All right, well, it's a great forecast and a beautiful Friday for anyone who didn't have to work today or got out of work a little early, right?
No, we didn't take my advice on the weather in 2 words, work skipper.
I know.
What were we thinking?
I don't know. We'll have to go take a weather walk or something.
Yeah.
All right, well, one more story before we go. You know that song, Glory Days? A new study actually shows older is better. A University of Chicago sociologist study shows the happiest Americans are the oldest. The research interviewed people from 1972 to 2004. About 28,000 people between the ages of 18 and 88 years old took part. The research shows happiness goes up 5% with every 10 years of age. Overall, about 33% of Americans reported being very happy at age 88 versus only 24% of those age 18 to their early 20s. Isn't that funny?
That's a good study.
Yeah, it's a good sign, right, for us?
Right.
All right, that's all tonight for NBC 25 News at 5. The Insider's up next. Join us right back here for NBC 25 News at 6.
Rallies